Crocodile or Makarasana pose is a great transition as we begin a practice. It's helpful to turn the senses inward, relax, become present before we start the practice. It's also a great way to learn diaphragmatic breathing and to practice diaphragmatic breathing. In the position that we're going to be in, as you see on screen, the chest muscles are kind of taken out of the equation so that the only way that you can really breathe is by using the diaphragm. So it's a great way to practice that skill and to strengthen the diaphragm muscle. So as we start, you'll notice that we're lying on our fronts on the floor on a mat or a fairly firm surface. The arms are crossed in front with the palms on the upper arms. If you roll your wrist forward a little bit, you can find a flat spot to rest your forehead. You don't want to have your arms so far out that the upper part of your chest is resting on the floor. And if you have your arms too close to your body, that'll be really uncomfortable for your neck. So find a position where you're feeling like your upper chest is off the floor, but your neck is still comfortable. Begin by settling down and becoming aware of what it feels like to be in this position on the mat. Scan the back part of your body and let go of any tightness or tension through all of those large muscles of the back. Let your whole body be supported by the floor. Bringing your awareness up through the front of the body. Stop at the belly, the stomach area, the torso, and notice now what it feels like to breathe in this position. When we first begin a practice, we first start something, we're going to bring in whatever breathing pattern and thought pattern that we had before we came. So if you've been busy before you started the practice, you might notice there's a lot of activity, maybe a lot of thoughts coming through the mind, maybe the breath could be quite quick, maybe a little bit jerky, or there's pauses in the breath. At the beginning of the practice, we simply notice what is, and we have an intention to relax and allow the breath to become a bit smoother, a bit slower. But this doesn't happen through making an effort. It really just comes through relaxing. Paying attention to the rhythm of the breath. Ideally, the breath is smooth, without any jerkiness or pauses or breaks. It's common for people to have a pattern of holding the breath or having pauses. Sometimes people have a pause at the end of the exhalation, sometimes it's at the end of the inhalation. So just noticing for now what's happening with your breath, noticing if there are any pauses or breaks, and keep your mind focused on the breath at those transition points. Allow it to be continuous. We have this smooth, continuous breath. No pauses, breaks, jerkiness. And not putting an effort into it, simply relaxing. This is the natural pattern of the breath. And as we relax the tension in the body and the mind and relax the effort, this will naturally happen. And then we're working with the quality of even length of breath. So ideally, the exhalation and the inhalation are about the same length. Noticing that as you breathe, as you're counting, you can count the length of the exhalation and then see if the inhalation is about the same. From this position in Makarasana or Crocodile pose, we're automatically breathing diaphragmatically. And see if now that you can breathe a little bit more deeply than you might normally. And as you breathe in, you may notice that there's a bit of an expansion in the lower rib cage. The small of the back might rise. As you breathe out, there's a general settling in towards the floor. Pay attention now to that rise and fall or that wave of the breath. As you exhale, everything releases, relaxes, and softens. And inhaling, there's a gentle pressure of the belly on the floor. You can feel the rib cage, the lower back expand as the lungs fill with air. Focusing your mind, being aware of the breath and how it feels to breathe. You can continue that as long as you like. And then when you're ready, keeping this awareness of the breath and of the body, turn over so that you're lying on your back in Shavasana.